welcome to 50 Movies in 50 Weeks. I'm your host, Joey Hollywood, and I'm trying to get through all 50 movies in this 50 movie box set from Mill Creek in 50 weeks. And you know it was coming. You get a public domain box set, you know you're going to get Night of the Living Dead. It's law. Every one of these things, it's got to have it. Because it's the most famous public domain movie ever made. I maybe Carnival of Souls is more popular. I don't know. No. Night of the Living Dead is the most popular one. And might have been a waste of money. I don't know, because you can get this movie anywhere in high definition, but I do have the Criterion release of Night of the Living Dead. I won't be... I didn't watch this version, but I have it because it's one of the greatest. It is probably the greatest zombie movie ever made. It's such inspiration for guerrilla filmmaking, indie filmmaking. It created a whole genre of movies, and I've said in previous videos that Night of the Living Dead isn't really the first zombie movie. You know, you have Plague of the Zombies, King of the Zombies, Revolt of the Zombies, and some people argue, well, those are voodoo zombies; those are different. But some of them kind of blur the line of the Living Dead and a voodoo zombie. Specifically, Plague of the Zombies, the Hammer horror movie, has the Living Dead in it a couple years before this. So, but I don't think that takes away from the impact this had. This, like, even though there was a sprinkled out a couple, zombie movies here and there, this was what defined the genre. It's almost like people getting pedantic about what the first slasher movie is. People be like, "Oh, Giallo, those are slasher movies." Well, not really. I think the Giallo was one of the steps leading up to the slasher film. We have the body count Giallo movies combined with Christian Catholicism in the American sphere created the what we call the American slasher, and that's eventually changed over the years. The 90s redefined what a slasher was, and this is no exception. This is what really redefined the zombie movie. And later on we have stuff like 28 Days Later and the Dawn of the Dead remake, which redefined zombie movies again. This is just a great piece of history. I'm so glad I have it on Blu-ray. But let's talk about the copy that came in this set. I was initially kind of worried that because I have this Criterion collection, I was going to be like, oh no, I'm going to be missing out, on the great picture. And the movie is so strong that I don't really feel like that was a problem. And it maybe helps that I've been watching this movie forever. I had a Good Times VHS tape of it when I was a kid. It was one of the first horror movies I was allowed to watch, probably because it's, it's by our standards not that scary. But the picture quality on that was VHS, was a copy of a copy of a copy. And then eventually I got the DVD, which also was, highly compressed and a copy of a copy of a copy. I don't think I saw a proper restoration of it until I got the Riff Tracks version, which came with the copy of the movie that had no commentary on it. And that was my definitive version for a while. If I wanted to watch the movie, I'd pop in the Riff Tracks disc and then hit no commentary. And then I eventually got this, and this is worth its weight in gold. I know you can probably get this for free on YouTube, but I like to physically own the things. I like that option of holding it in my hand, and it's as far as the Living Dead trilogy goes, Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, and Day of the Dead. It depends on my mood which one is my favorite. Right now, this one's my favorite. I love this movie. There's so many moments in it that I think elevate it from the kind of schlock it could have been. All the characters seem just so realistic, even when they're not delivering the best performances. And it does something that I feel can be botched, but it's done so well here where our main character, played by Dwayne Jones, he's in the wrong for the most of the movie, but you're pushing for him to be right. But he's technically wrong the whole movie. If he just went down in the cellar with the bald guy, a lot of the stuff could have been avoided. And it's mostly Dwayne Jones's fault. And I think that really says something, because he's morally correct. But in the very end, he's wrong. He gets everybody killed. I don't think that's that much of a spoiler. This movie is from the 60s, and it's the most genre-defining movie ever. So I hope I don't have to like say spoilers for that. But yeah, I love this movie. I could talk about it endlessly. I've made videos about it in the past. I am so happy to have this version. But no matter what version you watch, if this is all you got, if you got this box set or some, other movie pack that has it, because there's 1,000 movie packs that has this movie, you're getting a good movie no matter what. It's excellent. It's this, Martin, Day of the Dead, Dawn of the Dead, all fantastic movies. I wish I could say I liked Diary of the Dead, Land of the Dead, and Survival of the Dead. I don't hate those movies, but they just don't hold a candle to Night of the Living Dead or the other two. There's another movie that he directed that I saw for the first time called The Amusement Park, and it's all about growing old and people kind of ignoring you. And it's very sad and very haunting. It's not a horror movie, but it feels almost horrific. It's on Shudder. If you've seen Night of the Living Dead 1,000 times like me, and you want some more Romero, check that out. It's called The Amusement Park. It's really good. And with that, I say thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. We're over halfway through this, and I appreciate your viewership. And hopefully I'll see you in the coming weeks. Remember, please be kind and rewind.